Okay, in this segment we're going to talk about the watch. The watch command is going to be very helpful when we talk about heeling and walking on leash. Also, when we start putting things together before each exercise, we're going to ask our dogs to watch. Watch is getting your dog's attention. Siren's kind of looking at me right now, even though, because I have food, partly, but she also has been taught a watch command. Now, my watch command is going to be very specific. I want my dog, when I say watch, to make eye contact with me. Later on, when we talk about heeling, we're going to talk about watch points, but right now, this is actually going to be looking directly into my eyes, and I'll show you two different ways that you can start working on this. One is going to be where the dog is in front of you, and the next one is going to be when the dog is in heel position. We will talk about heel position a little more in another segment. But for right now, and your dogs will be on leash. Siren has been doing this for a long time, but you want to hang on to your leash so your dog doesn't get bored and walk away. But what we're going to do is have our food in our hands, and I'm going to lure the dog to look into my eyes. So I have the treat. I'm going to go from her nose to my eyes and tell her, watch. Yes, good girl. And I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to, one, reward her with the cookie, but as soon as she looks into my eyes, I'm going to tell her yes, or good girl, or whatever it is, so I can mark that behavior as well. Siren, are you ready? Watch. Yes, what a good girl. Good dog. Siren. Watch. Good. And it's going to be real quick. When you're starting with this, you only want to start off for a few seconds at a time. Eventually, we're going to build up where your dog, if you say watch, they can watch you for up to a minute. But right now, we're just going to do small segments. Are you ready? Watch. Good. As soon as they make that eye contact, they get a cookie. As your dog starts to understand the game is to watch you and to watch your eyes, then we can start to slowly have the treats come away from our face and come down to our sides. But this may take a few weeks to get your dog. Watch. Good. And you're going to start building that time that they're holding that watch. Watch. Good. Watch. Good. Now, when you're ready to take the food away from directly in front of your face, it may take a little bit for your dog to understand because now we're not luring with the cookie, where you want them to look. So after your dog's pretty good with that cookie, I'm going to put my hands maybe behind my back, not to distract my dog too much. Siren, watch. Good. And as soon as they look at my eyes, then I'm going to bring that treat. What I'm going to do at first is bring that treat, watch, up from where my eyes are, down to my dog. I'm rewarding them for looking in my eyes. Good girl. Watch. What a good watch. Yes. Good. And down comes my cookie. After you have that pretty good and your dog understands that they're looking at your eyes, one of the next phases that you can begin is to make it a little tougher. I'm going to have my hands by my side. Sorry. Good. And she knows I have food in my hands. But the only way that she's going to get those food is by looking directly into my face. Siren. Siren. Girl, watch. Yes, good. Now, if you have food in your hands and your dog starts to anticipate where the food's coming from, you want to alternate hands. Have lots of little cookies in each hand. Girl. I have my hands down by my side. She's trying to anticipate where the cookie's going to come from. Watch. Good. Watch. Yes. And if your dog, again, is staring at one hand before they look into your eyes, then as soon as they look at your face, you can treat with the other hand, so they don't anticipate where that cookie is going to come from. Okay, good. So there's a few steps that you can slowly work on. To get to this last step, it may take you 3 to 4 weeks. So that, again, this is a gradual progression. And then the other part, is by putting the dog in the heel position. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ask my dog to watch. I'm going to have my hand by my side because there's no cookies in my hand. Sorry, watch. Yes. And the food is going to come from up here, not from down here. I don't want my dog to drop her head and look. Good girl. Sorry, watch. Yes. Good. So when you work on the watch in the front, you can slowly start to put it onto your heel position. And again, there'll be different stages to this, but these are a few stages that you can start to work on now.